Yes?
Siguro Ma'am Rose, tuloy-tuloy mo na lang ma'am para pagka magtutuloy-tuloy.
Okay po. At kaya lang po, ma'am, ang aking PowerPoint ay dito sa laptop na ginagamit ko ay problema. Paano ko i-open?
Ma'am, pwede niyo po siyang i-click din po kahit po naka-online po kayo. Maririnig po namin kayo. Kung gusto
Out
niyo
ba
po,
muna ako? Hindi ko kasi
hindi po kayo
kabisado. Wait. Teka ha.
Yes po. Medyo
Hirap ng
malaki yung file.
Medyo low-tech kasi tayo eh. Dapat pala na dalawang laptop. Oh wait. Lapit mo.
Habang po inaayos po natin ang ating presentation, may we have our Honorable Captain of Dolores, Barangay Dolores, Honorable Alan Martinez de Leon for a small talk. Sir Alan.
Kinig din ba ako, Carla?
Po, rinig po.
Okay,
Andito
naririnig. Inaano ko na lang ha.
Hindi ata naririnig ni Cap.
Opo, baka po ano pa lang po, nasa way po si Cap.
Nasa way siya na.
Opo, galing po sa sasakyan kanina eh.
Mm-hmm.
Pasensya na po. Medyo mabagal-bagal tayo. Okay, as I have said, the total numbers of dropout in our school, the total number male from kinder to grade 6 have 21 and female 10 and the overall is 31. So, again, our problem is the dropout rate decreased from 35 to 31 during the school year 2019-2020. So our objective is to decrease the number of dropout from 35 to 5 for 3 years rather. So these are the activities that we're going to make. So the first activity during the pre-implementation is gathering of data. Our output are list of possible stakeholders and other information, meeting or agenda, letters, invitation, minutes of the meeting, attendance, commitment, and the LESF, and Form 1. So, date implementation is from June, July to August 2020. The person involved are the school head, project team, and the teachers. And our budget is 20,000 pesos. So next is profiling pupils, the activity. Then the output is Form 1, pupils profile, and the budget is 10,000 pesos. And the next is conduct orientation with the parents. The output could be memorandum, letters, invitation, minutes of the meeting, attendance. Then our budget allotted is 2,000. And next, implementation. First activity is posting announcement through school FB page. So the output is post on social media. Then the date implementation is August 20, 2020. The person involved, school head, teachers, advisors, then project team. And the budget allotted could be 1,000. The next activity, online training of teachers on the different modalities in teaching. The output is letter of invitation, memorandum attendance, narrative and pictorials. Then date implementation, August 2020. Then person involved, school heads and teachers advisors. Allotted budget, 5,000. Next activity, purchase needed materials. Output is the least purchased materials. Date implementation is on August 2020. Budget, 35,000. The next, conduct guidance and counseling to pupils on the readiness to distance learning modality. The output is the letter of invitation, memorandum attendance, narrative and pictorials. Date implemented could be on August 2020 and the budget allotted is 5,000. Next, adopt a child program. Then the output could be the letter of invitation, memorandum, attendance, narrative and pictorial, list of donors, pledges, and acceptance. Then date implementation could be on August 2020. Okay, the budget allotted could be 3,000. Parenting seminar. The output is letter of invitation, memorandum, attendance, narrative and pictorials. It could be date implementation on August 2020 and the budget allotted is 3,000 pesos. Next. Monitor the attendance of the pupils every day through online, FB Messenger or text messages kasi nga sa ating pandemic situation ngayon. At ang ating output dito ay attendance sheet and it will implement date implementation on August 2020 to April 2021. The person involved are the school head, the project team, teachers, advisor, then parents. The budget allotted could be 1,000 pesos. Next activity is meeting with the teacher, advisors, parents, and stakeholders. The output is the letter of invitation, memorandum, attendance, narrative, and tutorials, minutes of the meeting, and date implementation could be on September 2020. Person involved, the school head, project team. Then budget allotted 3,000 pesos. Next activity, monitor the attendance of the pupils every day through online FB. Okay. Or text message, output attendance sheet. So, nasabi ko na kanina. Meeting with the teachers, advisor, parents, and stakeholders. So, the output could be the letter of invitation, memorandum, attendance, narrative, and tutorials, minutes of the meeting. Date implementation could be on September 2020. Person involved, school head, and project team. Budget allotted, 3,000. Next, activities, home visitation, output home visitation form, agreement form, documentation, date implementation, August 2020 to April 2021. The person is responsible, teacher advisors, then budget allotted 5,000. Next activity is collecting pupils data and attendance record of pupils. We need the output are Form 2, SF9, SF10, then date implementation, August 2020 to April 2021. So the person responsible are the teacher, advisor, and project team, and the budget allotted could be 1,000 pesos. Then the last, post-implementation of the evaluation, the activity are the monitoring and evaluation. The output could be the memorandum and an e-tool documentation. Then date implementation could be April 2020 to 2021. Then person responsible is school head project team. And budget allotted could be 5,000 pesos. And the next activity, in evaluation is the awards and recognition. The output could be the memorandum, invitations, certificates, medals, documentation, and the date of implementation could be on April 2020, 2021. The person responsible are the school head, project team, stakeholders, and the budget could be 10,000 pesos. So that's all po. Ma'am Carla, okay na po. Okay, thank you po.
Hello, Ma'am Carla. BRB 4 slide, please. All right, so while waiting, good afternoon, everyone, especially to our invited uh, guests and fellow presenters and teachers. Ma'am Lori, good afternoon po. Ayan na. Thank you, Ma'am Carla. So for everyone's information, the BRB for or Balanggayan para sa bawat bata bumabasa is the SDO Rizal initiated project that intends to promote literacy among Rizaleño children with community people as lead players. This was launched last July 1 via FB Live and YouTube in reference to the PED Memorandum number 173 series of 2019, otherwise known as Hamon Bawat Bata Bumabasa. Next slide, please. Alright, so I will just continue. Ma'am Carla, habol na lang po for my slide. Alright, so for the problem statement, based on the PhilIRI pre-test result, out of 588 or 57% or 57.53% out of 1,022 pupils in intermediate level are struggling readers. Ito po yung sa frustration natin. So we have here the objective statement. We have to decrease the number of frustration readers of grades 4 to 6 pupils from 588 out of 1,022 or 57.53% to 118 or 80% by 2023. There. Root cause na po tayo, ma'am. So we have here the root causes. We have difficulty in phonemic awareness, difficulty in decoding words, can hardly recognize some letters of English alphabet, poor study habit, insufficient reading materials, no functional library, lack of interest, no follow-up at home, inappropriate strategies were used by the teachers in teaching reading, and last is the absenteeism. So we have, next slide please. Thank you, ma'am. For the pre-implementation, we have these following activities. We have the school lock session on planning of PhilIRI GST administration. The output would be memorandum, matrix, attendance, and documentation. Person is responsible are the following: school head, OIC, English coordinator with her team, and also they will work hand in hand with the Filipino coordinator and her team also. The budget allotted is 3,000. The next activity is pupils profiling administration of the Philae Rise stages 1 and 2. So the person involved here are English team, grades 4 to 6 teachers, and also the Filipino teachers, Filipino team. The budget is 10,000. And the third one is organization of interventions team composition. So the output are the following: memorandum, appointment with roles and responsibilities, attendance, minutes of the meeting, and documentation. So this will be handled by the school head and the English team, which has the budget of 500. The last activity for the pre-implementation is the LAC sessions and meetings of the team and teachers. The output would be memorandum letter and invitation, matrix, attendance, minutes of the meeting, and documentation. School head, English team, grades 4 to 6, and English teachers were the person involved with a budget of 2,000. Now let's go to the during implementation stage. Next slide, please. Thank you, Ma'am Carla. So we have here the first activity, parents orientation meeting. So we have the memorandum letter and invitation, the matrix, minutes of meeting of, and the documentation. So same thing, the person involved were mentioned a while ago, and the budget for this is 2,000. The next one is conduct capacity building activities for reading teachers, parents, and volunteers. So we have here the matrix, attendance, minutes of the meeting, and documentation for the output. And with the budget of 10,000 pesos. The next one is conduct workshop on the development of print and online reading materials. So we have here the instructional printed or online reading materials, worksheets, modules, lesson exemplars as the output. And we have the budget of 5,000 pesos. And this is done by the English team. The next one is reproduction, purchase needed materials. So we have here the output would be the inventory, lesson exemplars, worksheets, and modules. And this is the biggest, this has the biggest budget among the others. This cost 150,000, considering the fact that we are going to have this for online and offline. So we are going to have a reproduction of materials. This includes also the printers, the inks, bond papers, etc. All right. Then we have the implementation of the BASA challenge. So we have done this before. So continuous. This activity has been done continuously. So memorandum, letter of invitation, attendance, minutes of the meeting, and documentation were the output of this activity, and the person involved were the teachers. And also we have 5,000 pesos for the budget. Next one is conduct reading assessment online and offline. So the output would be pupils progress report. This is handled by the school head. We have the budget for the budget is 20,000 pesos. Next slide is, yes, next slide, ma'am, please. The next one is for the post implementation. The first one is administration of the GIP post test. The output will be the following: memorandum, documentation, reading materials, school reading profile. Person involved for the following: English team, grades 4 to 6, English teachers, advisors, grades 4 to 6, pupils. The budget is 5,000 pesos. Next one is monitoring and evaluation. We have memorandum, letter invitation, attendance, minutes of the meeting, documentation, coaching and mentoring form, technical assistance form. And this will be handled by school heads and teachers with 5,000 pesos as budget. The last one for post-implementation for this project is the graduation recognition of pupils, parents, volunteers, and teachers who have rendered their time on the reading activity. The output are the following memorandum, letter, and invitation certificates, narrative, and pictorial. Person who will handle these are the following: school head, English team, English teachers, grade 4 to 6 pupils, and the rest of the teachers. We have 10,000 pesos as the budget for this. So let me end the BRB4 presentation with by sharing an excerpt from the proponent of this project, who is Ma'am Che. She said, sisimulan natin ang pagkatuto ng mga bata ngayong Hulyo habang sila ay nasa kanilang mga tahanan. Babasa ang mga bata para sa kanilang mga pangarap. Dahil tayo'y mga gurong may puso, gagawin natin ang lahat para maihanda ang mga bata sa darating na pasukan. Lavern lang dahil nasa pagbasa ang pag-asa. Muli, magandang hapon po sa lahat. And by the way, meron po tayong mga achievements. The following slides, ma'am, pakita na lang po hanggang sa dulo. And thank you, Ma'am Carla, for that. That's the end of our presentation for the BRB4.
Thank you, Ma'am Rosie nga po pala kanina sa Project Riddles and Ma'am Lynn for the Project BRB4. Naka-off pa wala yung mic ko kanina. And now, we will have the
Thank you,
project
ma'am.
to be presented by Ma'am Vivian Beron. Take it away, Ma'am.
Good afternoon po sa lahat. So I'm here to present the project in math, which is Project Math M Squared, or Matiyagang Aaralin, Tututukan hanggang Masanay at Matutunan. Our objectives is to reduce the number of non-numerates from 646 to 20 or 54% to 3% in 3 years. Actually po, this is from the mid-assessment na po last year. Kasi po last year talaga, the total of non-numerates in Dolores Elementary School, when we conducted it first time, I think that's mid of July, we have 1,196 non-numerates. But because of cooperation of all the teachers and the core member of math group in school, we are able to lessen the number of non-numerates into 646 when we conducted our mid-assessment last, I think, end of January last year. So our project is also based on the project of the division, which is about BBRIP, or Back to Basic Remediation Intervention Program of Ma'am Camarce last time. Pero ngayon po, wala pa pong new project na sinasabi sa amin. Kaya ito pa rin po yung project namin sa math. Next po. So what are the planned activities for the projects to succeed? Pinagsama-sama ko na po sila. During the pre-implementation, of course, we have there the gathering of data. Gagawin po ulit para ma-sure po at makuha lahat talaga ng mga bata na non-numerates. This is from grades 1 to 6. Profiling of pupils na lumabas po na non-numerates, and orientation with the teachers, parents, and volunteers. So yun pong sa gathering of data po kasi, we are giving a pre-test using the DD cards. So yun po yung ginagamit namin. At ang ginagamit po namin dyan is yung photocopied version po ng DD cards para po individual filing ng mga bata, lalo na po doon sa lalabas na mga non-numerates. Next po. So what are the planned implementations for the project to succeed? Again, during the implementation po of the program, after gathering who are the non-numerates pupils, we have the execution of the plans and strategies in improving pupils' performance. So, meeting po yan and then sasabihin po kung yung mga dapat na gagawin. And then, we will also conduct capacity building for teachers in recent techniques and strategies in teaching consistent to the different learning modalities we are in the new normal. Siyempre po, may iba. Hindi mo pwedeng kaharap yung bata na DDD cards. Conduct workshops on the construction of print and online instructional materials such as worksheets, DD cards, and other learning materials. Next po. And then after that, we will administer the learning materials based on the flexible learning options. Kasi nga po, hindi naman po pwede ngayon yung kagaya po nung ginagawa namin dati na after their class, maiiwan sila sa room para mag-DD cards ng ilang minuto. Eh ngayon po, hindi po pwede. So, syempre po, flexible kung ano sila, kung anong oras sila pwedeng maglaan ng oras para po mag-undergo ng program na ito. Next po. And for the post-implementation po, these are the activities that we will do. Okay, so of course, we are going to give a post-test after 4 months. Nandun po sa project yung mga scheduled. Hindi ko na po siya nilagay dito. Pero meron pong concrete na schedule yan kung kailan magaganap yung pre-implementation, implementation, and the post-implementation program. During the post-implementation po, of course, we will give after 4 months of giving them yung DD cards thrice a week, they will now have a post-test. And then after that, of course, we will assess the result of the post-test and then analyze the result to be used for the next planning cycle. Kasi nga po, this project is for 3 years. Kasi we want to eradicate, if not, lessen talaga po yung mga non-numerates before they go to the next step of their schooling, high school. Next po. So what are the expected output after doing those activities? Sure, syempre po during the pre-implementation, we will have memorandum and then minutes of the meeting and then the learner's profile, yung mga tinitignan din po kasi diyan yung ano nila, yung condition ng ano ba para po malaman mas maintindihan ba sila ng pagkahirap or bakit hindi nila naiintindihan or bakit natatakot sila sa math subject at all. Of course, lagi pong kailangan ng memorandum and then lagi pong kailangan ng letter of invitation, minutes of the meeting with the parents of learners who will attend this project kasi parang magkakaroon po kayo ng kasunduan. And then letter of consent. Next po. And then documentation po. Kailangan ng documentation lagi para po makita. May pagbabalikan kung ano yung naganap sa project. And during the implementation naman po, of course, nandyan pa rin po yung letter of consent from the parents, learner's profile, memorandum, matrix, L&D plan, learning and development plan po yun, letters, attendance, documentation, lesson exemplars, of course. Gagawan po yan ng lesson exemplars para po mas maganda yung magiging implementation. And then worksheets para hindi naman po sila magsawa doon sa DD cards. And then modules po. Next po. And what are the expected output naman po during the post-implementation? Of course, after the post-test, we are going to do a comparative result of the pre and post DD cards administration to be used po para po sa mga ilang revision or changes doon po sa ginawa naming remediation para mas maging effective po yung project. Next po. And so, who are the persons involved in this project? Siyempre po, nandyan po lagi ang supervision po ng aming school head, and then yung amin pong master teacher, and then grade level coordinators po in math, yung mga parents po, volunteer tutors, lalo na po ngayon, na hindi makakapag face-to-face sa amin. So, kailangan talaga namin ng tulong ng mga neighbors na pwedeng mag-act as volunteer tutors po. Lalo na po sa math nga na medyo kailangan talaga nababantayan at natututukan yung bata. And of course, yung pupils po na magiging clientele ng program na ito. Next po. And so, what do we need? Nandito na po tayo sa what need. Siyempre po, every project need a budget para po magkaroon ng realization kasi hindi naman po aandar to kung wala pong budget. So, ito na po yung budget. Pinag-isa ko na lang po. Bali po, for the DD cards, photocopy, survey form, transportation, and internet load, we will be needing 10,000 pesos. And then for the DD cards po, ito po yung pagdating po dito sa implementation, ang gagamitin na pong DD cards is yung card talaga. Kasi mas makakatipid po yun kaysa po dun sa photocopy na isang gamit lang. So they will have their 4 copies po ng DD cards for grades 3 to 6. Kasi ano po yun, addition 1, subtraction 1, division 1, and multiplication 1. So, kaya po yung card na, para po mas matipid yun, gagamit na lang po sila ng bond paper. Pwede pa nilang gamitin yung back and front space ng bond paper para po dun sa kanilang answer sheet. And so, pwede po nilang gamitin. Kumbaga, yung card, mare-recycle na lagi na lang gagamitin yun. And hindi po siya madadagdag sa next budget in case kakailanganin ulit. And then printed materials aside from the DD cards kasi nga po baka po magsawa. So we will be printing other materials na makatutulong din naman po para mas humusay sila sa 4 fundamental operations po. Yung addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. And then flash drive po for video showing techniques for the pupils to view to help them para po minsan po yung mga games na nilalagay mo doon mas na-enhance sila or mas na-stimulate sila na gawin yung activity. And then of course we will be needing to capacitate the teachers, so we will need a budget which is 5,000 pesos. And then for the printing of worksheets kasi nga po nasabi ko po doon sa activity na magsusulat po ng modules and then ng lesson exemplars. So for printing po, kailangan po ng 50,000 pesos. And then internet load again and transportation po for the different activities, 25,000. Then test materials po para po sa post-test, 12,000. And then progress report, 10,000 pesos po. So the total budget po needed for this project is approximately 155,430. So yun po yung mga pagsisikapan na ma-provide para po dito po sa project na ito, para po sa mga bata. Thank you po. Next po. And so what are the future plans? According to the research by Harvard professor Tom Lovelace, basic skills are necessary to advance in math. Students must learn arithmetic so that they can move on to more demanding mathematics, algebra, geometry, and calculus. So kailangan po maging skilled na, yung develop na talaga yung skills, yung fundamental operations na yon bago sila umalis ng elementary para naman po hindi maaapektuhan. Kasi kung doon pa lang po sa four basic na yon, four basic operations in math, medyo hindi na nila nakuha at umalis sila ng elementary na dala-dala yung burden na yon na hindi sila marunong mag-add, mag-divide, mag-subtract, or mag-multiplication. Malaking factor po ito sa nadadalahin nila when they go to the next level of studying. So ano po yung gagawin? Of course, practice is the key. Making a commitment to practice is essential to maximize the impact of training. After all, practice is the only way to become proficient in a new skill or behavior. It will not make perfect for all people, but it will make almost everyone better. So lagi lang po naman practice. At ganun po yung ginagawa namin sa math. Kahit naman po sa mga ibang tutorial sa math, talaga pong practice lang. Pag nag-practice, mahahasa sila ng mahahasa. At yun po yung ginagawa namin sa project na ito. Siyempre po, yearly, iba-iba yung clientele, so nadadagdagan. Pero hopeful naman po, through this project, bago sila umalis ng Dolores, okay na sila dun sa four fundamental skills. Thank you po. Good afternoon.
Thank you po, Ma'am Vivian Beron, for Project Math. Now we will have the project. What is our next project? We will have the project build. Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon po. Naririnig po ba ako?
Yes po, naririnig
Okay.
po.
So, good afternoon to our invited guests, Ma'am Lori, fellow teachers, and co-presenters. So, since our school is facing a problem about the increasing number of low-performing pupils based on the quarterly exam for the previous years, we've come up to an idea of putting a project in order to eradicate our pupils' extra poor performance through the project built, which stands for boost and uplift the interest of the low-performing learners through remediation. So, for the problem statement, next slide po, for the problem statement, based on the MPS result of periodic exams of different learning areas, showed that the number of low performers increased every year. Next. Project objective statement is to increase the MPS of all learning areas from 55% to 85% in 3 years. For the work plan and budget matrix, the first activity for the pre-implementation is the administration of VOC or Voice of the Customers or survey on readiness of pupils on the different learning modalities, which is offline and online. For the output, the memorandum, survey forms, tarpaulin, documentation. Date of implementation is June to July 2020. Person responsibles are the school head, master teacher, teachers, parents, and pupils with the budget of 30,000 pesos. For the next activity, for the pre-implementation, next slide please, is the planning meeting based on the result of the survey. Output, memorandum, program, documentation, attendance. Date of implementation is July 2020. person responsible are the school head, teachers, and parents with a budget of 5,000 pesos. Another activity for the pre-implementation is, next slide po, information dissemination and the new learning modalities, ESIP, AIP, and PPAs to all the stakeholders. Output memorandum, letters, program, SOSA, documentation, attendance. Date of implementation is August of 2020. Person responsible are the school head, teachers, parents, pupils, stakeholders with the budget of 5,000 pesos. Next activity for the pre-implementation is the call for volunteers for the implementation of the program with the output of memorandum, letters, programs, LCP. Date of implementation is June to August 2020. Person responsible are the school head, teachers, parents, pupils, stakeholders with a budget of 5,000 for the internet and load. Next activity is the conduct of INSET, ESLAC for teachers on the utilization of the different learning modalities. Output, letter of invitation, memo, matrix, program, documentation, attendance. Date of implementation is August 2020 to March 2021. Person responsible are the school head, master teacher, teachers with the budget of 10,000 pesos. Next activity for the pre-implementation is the administration of pupils' readiness for distance learning, online or modular. Output, list of names of low-performing pupils from their respective advisors. Date of implementation is on August 2020 to March 2021. Person responsible are the teachers and the pupils with the budget of 2,000 pesos. For the implementation and post-implementation work plan, I am giving the floor to Ma'am Elsa Rivera. Go ahead po, Ma'am Elsa.
Hello po. Good afternoon po. Naririnig po?
Opo, Ma'am.
Hello.
Naririnig po kayo, Ma'am.
Okay po. Ito po yung continuation ng project built. During implementation po, here are the activities. The first one is conduct workshops on the development of instructional materials. Outputs are letter of invitation, memo matrix, program, documentation, attendance, lesson exemplars, worksheets, and modules. The date of implementation is June to August 2020. And the person responsible for this activity are the school head, master teacher, and the teachers with a budget of 150,000 and 100,000, that's 50,000 for the reproduction of lesson exemplars, worksheets, modules, printers, printing materials, photocopy machine, or resew machine. Next slide po. The second activity for the implementation of this project is the implementation of remedial session and off-campus activity. The outputs are memorandum, attendance, and school forms or SF1 to 10. The date of implementation is August 2020 to April 2021. The persons responsible are school head, master teacher, teachers, parents, and volunteers. The budgets are 200,000, 20,000, 10,000, another 10,000, and 5,000 for the reproduction of school forms, internet, load, and transportation. Next slide po. For the post-implementation of this project, first activity is offline and online monitoring and evaluation. The outputs are students' portfolio or outputs and progress report card. The date of implementation is August 2020 to April 2021. The persons responsible are school head, master teacher, and the teachers with a budget of 50,000 pesos. Next slide po. Okay. The next activity is to conduct centralized assessment based on the FLOs. The outputs are printed test materials, CD or flash drives, and PPEs. The date of implementation is bi-quarterly. The persons responsible are the school head, the master teacher, and the teachers with a budget of 300,000, 50,000, and 20,000 pesos. Next po, meron pa ba? Okay po. The next one is communicate learning outcomes to all stakeholders. The outputs are memorandum, letters of or invitation, attendance, documentation, SOSA, and SF9. The date of implementation is April 2021. The persons responsible are the school head, the master teacher, the teachers, and the parents with a budget of 70,000. Next po. Meron pa po ba? Okay, wala na po. Thank you. And that's all for the project build. Thank you po.
Yung project na?
Thank you so much po, teachers. Now we will have the project treaties. Take it away, ma'am.
Hello. Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon po. On behalf of Ma'am Leila Silahis, ang project treatise po ay ang Teachers Training and Technical Assistance. Alam po natin na professional development matters kasi learning and achievement increase kapag ang educators ay engaged in seminars or trainings. That's why ang objective po ng project treatise is to enhance teachers' competence and skills for an effective instruction and to manage multiple learning modalities. Next slide po. Pre-implementation activities. Number 1 is conduct teachers assessment field. Ang output po is ESAT development or yung electronic self-assessment tool. School head and all teachers are the persons responsible with a budget of 1,000 pesos. Next slide po. Next is profiling of teachers. Output po is profile of teachers. All grade leaders are the persons responsible. Budget is 1,000 pesos. Next po. Form training team. Output, appointment, memorandum, minutes of the meeting, attendance, and documentation. School head, master teacher, o IC, and all grade leaders are the person responsible with a budget of 1,000 pesos. Next slide, please.
Dito. Pupunta ako dito. Paano?
Craft Learning and Development Plan. Ang output po is memorandum, matrix, learning and development plan. Persons responsible, school head, master teacher, OIC, and all grade leaders. Budget is 1,000 pesos. Next po. Information dissemination. Output is memorandum. School head, master teacher, OIC, and all grade leaders are persons responsible. Budget po 1,000 pesos. Next po. During implementation activity, yan na po yung implementation of the training design. Output, memorandum, matrix, attendance, and documentation. Persons responsible are school head, master teachers, OIC, and all grade leaders. Budget, 3,000 pesos. Next, please. Post-implementation activities. First is monitoring and supervision of classes. Output, memorandum, IS plan,
POC or proof of concept or classroom observation tool. School head and master teacher are the persons involved. Budget is 3,000 pesos. Next po. Conduct, mentoring, and coaching assistance. Output, coaching and monitoring form, uh, and technical assistance plan. School head and master teacher are persons responsible. Budget is 3,000 pesos. Next po. Planning of action to be done and trainings to be given. Output is the assessment tool. Person responsible are school head, master teacher, or ICs, and all grade leaders. Budget is 3,000 pesos. Next slide po. For post-implementation, post-implementation activities also virtual trainings and seminars. Output, memorandum, certificates, documentation. School head, master teacher, or ICs, and all grade leaders are person responsible with a budget of 3,000 pesos. Next po. Kung makikita nyo po, andyan yung percentage of level of trainings attended by DES teachers school year 2019-2020. Hindi ko na po iisa-isahin. Pero based sa percentage ng level of training, it shows na teachers of Dolores Elementary School never stop learning. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you po and good afternoon.
Thank you po sa ating mga presenter. May we have the next project?
Good afternoon po uli. And for the last project to be presented, Project SPA, Stakeholders Partnership Aid. The project objective, to increase the number of stakeholders from 5 to 20 in 3 years. So sila po yung ating mga stakeholders. So mostly po, andyan po ang ating LGUs, mayor, si mayor po, si kapitan, ang ating pong general PTA, Sir Anthony Mateo, at ang ating pong mga parents. Pero since narito po tayo ngayon sa pandemic, lalong-lalo na po natin kailangan ang kanilang mga tulong. So, activities for implementation. Information dissemination on the conduct of BE and OBE, Brigada Eskwela and Oplan Balik Eskwela, na natapos na po natin at nakasama rin po kayo sa aming kick-out ceremony. Conduct of Oplan Balik Eskwela and Brigada Eskwela, advocacy on sustaining healthy environment, peaceful and safety school. For their outputs, we have memorandum, letters, signages or tarpaulin, documentation and pictorials, and posting on social media. The same with memorandum, learners, enrollment, electronic enrollment, letters, signages, and tarpaulin, documentation and pictorials, donations. So we have protective tools, hygiene and health kits, and learning resources. Memorandum also, letters, signages, tarpaulin, documentation, and pictorials. Date of implementation, we have June, July, August 2020. Persons involved or responsible for this, we have the school head, the project team, the Brigada Eskwela, Opland Balik Eskwela team, the ICT team, teachers, parents, pupils, and our stakeholders. For the budget, we have 2,000 for the information dissemination from local funds. 100,000 for the LESF. Especially po doon po sa aming remote enrollment, internet load, transportation, protective tools, health and hygiene kits, and the learning resources. So we have the MOOE, LGUs, and the stakeholders that will help us. And another 2,000 for the advocacy on sustaining healthy environment since nagkakaroon nga po tayo ng problema and narito po tayo ngayon sa pandemic situation para po maging maayos tayo pagdating ng August 24. So local funds. Next po, accomplishment checklist on safe learning environment in view of COVID-19 threats. Output are the checklist. Date of implementation from April to June 2020. Persons involved, school head, the project team, and the teachers. Budget is 1,000 from our local funds. Disseminate information about COVID-19 threats using the tarpaulin signages, posting on social media. Date of implementation from April to August 2020. Persons involved, our school head and all the teachers. Budget is 1,000, another from local funds. Implement school facilities improvements for safer learning environment. So we have the output, list of inventory of purchased materials. Date of implementation is May to August 2020. Persons involved, school head, all teachers, GPTA officers, and the parents. Budget for PPEs, 90,000. Health kits, 30,000. Alcohol dispenser, 50,000. So, dito po dun sa mga, lahat po ng buildings, yung pong 4 buildings, and then yung bawat floor po. Then, MOOE, LGU, and stakeholders are the sources. Rehabilitation and reconstruction of school pipeline, drainage, electrical posts, and wirings. Doon po sa electrical posts and wirings, alam ko po ay na po ito ni Kapitan Alan De Leon. So, nasa kanila na po ito. And then, doon po sa pipeline, hanapin po kasi kailangan po kasi ng mga bagong pipes para po doon sa aming sa aming kuryente, tapos po yung anuhan ng CCTV, ng Wi-Fi. Tapos Yung pong aming drainage dahil nagbabaha pa rin po, naiipon po ang tubig doon po sa likod na building. Kaya po kailangan pong magka-drainage and meron din pong tubig pag umulan dito po sa covered court, sa may stage. Para po makalabas dahil natabunan po ang aming drainage. Output are letters, invitation, memorandum, documentation, and pictorials, online registration, and attendance. So date of implementation from August to March 2020 to 2023. Persons responsible are the school head and the project team. Budget source from 10,000 to 300,000 to be to get from MOOE and LGUs. Ito po iyon, installation of CCTV and Wi-Fi. Kasi po ang aming pong taas na, ang aming pong ICT room ay wala pa pong Wi-Fi. At hindi po kaya ng Wi-Fi na nasa office. So output, improvement of physical facilities, documentation, and pictorials. Date of implementation from June to March 2020 to 2023. Responsible persons, school head and the project team. 20,000 for the budget. We have the general PTA to support us. Improvement of hand washing area per building. So may naitayo na po, doon po yung dating sa may tabi po ng kantin. Tapos po nagkaroon po nung ilan lang pong washing area, yung narito po sa may gate. So kailangan pa po namin per building ng washing area. So output, improvement of physical facilities, documentation, and pictorials. Date of implementation from June to March 2020 to 2023. Responsible persons, school head and the project team. Budget 15 to 150,000 from MOOE, LGUs, and stakeholders. Installation of metal alcohol dispenser pump with 500 ml green alcohol in corridors per floor per building. Output, number of installed alcohol dispenser, date of implementation this coming August 2020. Persons involved, school head and project team. Budget, we have 50,000 from a budget source, LGU and MOOE. Coordination with the ICT admin for the link or online records of students in relation to COVID-19. Output, provision and posting of link. Na nagawa na naman po, pero syempre po dahil dire-diretso po tayo, so kailangan pa rin po nating makipag-coordinate. Date of implementation, September 2020. Persons involved, school head and the project team. Budget, 1,000 for from local funds. So announcement po through FB page. And nawala. Wait lang po. Improvement of classrooms to be recognized. Output, results of the winner. There should be an environment-friendly classrooms. So yun naman po ay ginagawa naman po yun ng mga teachers. Kaya mas maganda po kung lalagyan natin ng ganito para maiwasan din po natin na magkaroon po ng problema. So date of implementation, September 2020. Persons responsible, school head, project team, SPG and YESO team, all teachers and pupils. Budget 50,000 and sources MOOE and LGUs. Exhibit search for the best in recycled material. So output, results of the winner, date of implementation, September 2020, persons responsible, school head and project team, budget 48,000, source stakeholders. Para po malesen natin ang mga basura. Adapt a place, to have a commitment for the beautification and development of a place. So ito naman po, may naka-assign na po by grade kung alin po ang kanilang lugar sa school. So output, memorandum, attendance, checklist, documentation, and pictorials. Date of implementation, all year round. Persons involved, school head and project team. Budget, 3,000 or 10,000 to 30,000. Signages and tarpaulin. Classrooms following safety standards and proper ventilation. Preparation and coordination to the LGUs and parents for the face-to-face learning. Output, memorandum, agreements, learning continuity plan, announcement to social media, guidelines and documentation. Implementation, December 2020 to April 2021. Persons involved, school head and project team, budget and source 5,000 and MOOE and LGUs. So, ito po yung mga binisita po tayo ni Consi Kyle Kakula, Consi Jeka. Paano na lang po ng mga pictures. Ito po dun sa aming garden. Narito po ang ating isang General PTA officer. Ito po. Thank you po.
Thank you so much sa ating mga partners po sa hapong ito ng ating mga project. Again, from Project Riddles, Project BRB4, Project Math, Project Build, Project Crities, and Project SPA. At this juncture, for the comments, suggestions, and feedbacks, we will have the voices of our distinguished guests. May we have on the screen our Honorable Joanne Calderon for the suggestions, comments, and feedbacks po.
Yes, good afternoon. Talaga pong tinapos natin yung bawat presentation, and I must say po sa dami ko pong natenan na ratification itong improvement plan natin. Ang Dolores Elementary School po ang napakaraming programa para po sa makaakma tayo sa sinasabi nga nilang itong pandemya na din pinagdadaanan natin. To be honest, yung ultimo yung sa mga teachers na meron tayong plano for the teachers, for the stakeholders, kasi karamihan sa mga natenan ko is focusing on the students, no. So dito naman po, like nabanggit kanina, Project Riddles, BRB4, na meron din po yung iba, Project Math, M2, na meron din po yung iba, Project Build, isa po sa na naging interesado tayo, Project RTS. Ito po, gusto ko lang din pong i-share na tayo po sa municipality ng Taytay, meron tayong tinatawag na Tech for Ed. So kung ano man po yung pwede nating ma-share sa ating mga teachers, sa ating mga guro, open po tayo dyan. Let me submit din po a proposal para po makatuwang sa ating mga public school dito sa ating paaralan. Then the projects pa, isa rin po sa very interesting project na inilalahad po sa atin ng ating mga team leaders kanina. Then to be honest, pag pinapakinggan mo siya bilang parent, kung ito po ay naririnig ng kapwa ko ring mga magulang, siguro nakakakampante na nakikita natin yung effort na ginagawa ng mga frontliners natin sa ngayon, ng mga teachers and principal. Kaya kung ano man po, tulad ng sinabi ko po kanina, kung ano man po yung maitutulong ng isang Konsyala Joanne bilang Committee on Education sa pamamagitan ng legislation, dahil yan po ang aming trabaho, inform nyo lang po ako, alam naman po nila Sir John Rian, isang chat lang po, and at the same time din po, as a stakeholders din po, gagawa rin po tayo ng paraan na makahanap po ng bukod sa LGU doon sa mga willing na tumulong, dahil napakagaganda po ng mga programa na inilatag po ng Dolores Elementary School. So sa ngayon, yun po muna, at hayaan nyo po ako, nagno-notes po ako sinusulat ko po, nagno-notes ako, and let me review, then tingnan ko po ano yung bukod sa pagiging konsehal, ano yung personal din po na maitulong ng inyong lingkod sa bawat project. I must say, talaga pong tinutukan ng mga team leader. Congratulations po. Congratulations sa project po natin.
Thumbs up daw, sabi ni Ma'am Joanne. Good job to the SM team. Congratulations. And now, may we have Mr. Anthony E. Mateo, the GPTA President of Dolores Elementary School. Sir Mateo, any comments, suggestions, and feedbacks po?
Good afternoon po. Ma'am Lori, good afternoon. Konsehala Joanne, pinakamasipag at pinakamaganda. Baka magselos yung iba.
Ako lang po yung nandito
Okay. So, hindi merong mga projects na hindi ko nakita kasi nga panay ang patawag. Panay ang patawag. But yung sa part ho ng General PTA ay kayo po naman ay mga saksi sa aming mga ginagawa para sa school. So, I would like to reiterate yung ating pong continuous support to the programs, projects, and activities of the school in behalf of the General PTA. Sa tingin ko po ang sa ngayong meron tayong pandemic, at saka meron tayong tinatawag na distance learning, ang number one na intervention na kailangan po natin gawin yung pong sa online learning ay ang internet connection. Kaya nga po kanina ay medyo mabagal yung ating PowerPoint presentation because mabagal din po ang net natin. So I would like to suggest na sa ating local government units na kung magkakaroon ng programa ng enhancement or improvement of the internet connection for online learning, sana po unahin po ang bawat schools na magkaroon ng maganda o enhance internet connection per school. Just yesterday po kasi ay merong bumisita sa akin dito from Smart and PLDT. Meron po silang program ngayon na online education kung saan po ay makaka-avail tayo ng fiber optics na connection. Meron po namang postpaid, meron ding prepaid exclusively for teachers, for parents and for students and for the school. Maganda po yung kung siguro po pwede ko pong i-endorse sa inyo, Konsehala Joanne, para makita niyo yung programa. Maganda po yung programa. And without ano tawag yon, yung cash out. Wala akong cash out. Pero ito po ay for schools, teachers, and parents and students po. So, Ma'am Lori, hindi pa po ako nakapag-courtesy course sa inyo kasama yung aking mga GPT officers. Siguro po one day, siguro probably by next week, kami po ay dadalo sa inyo. Siyempre po, strict strict observance of physical distancing. Gawin po nating 2 meters. Okay po. So, yun po naman, in behalf of the General Parents Teachers Association, you have our full support. Kung meron po pong, ay paring Kap, andyan na po pala kayo. Good afternoon po, paring Kap, Alan De Leon, So, kung we will be submitting our financial report, ng General PTA, but siguro sa pagkakaalam ko po ay meron pa po namang natitirang pondo from the General PTA Fund, and we are willing to offer the fund to the programs, projects, and activities of the school. Siguro po naman lahat po naman ng mga classrooms ngayon, kung meron pong nasira, let me know, lahat po naman ng classrooms ngayon ay meron ng LED TV for instructional purposes. Kaso nga lamang po, wala naman tayong munang face-to-face learning ngayon. And yung pinaka-latest nga po yung sound system na nakabit na naman po dyan sa ating and pinaganda po namin ang office ninyo, ma'am.
Thank you po.
Yung aming mga high-end na mga curtains. Tay Changi.
Thank you po.
Okay po. So yun po lamang So inuulit ko po, nakahanda po ang General PTA as the school's major stakeholder para tumulong po sa ikabubuti sa kaligtasan at sa dekalidad na edukasyon ng ating pong mga mag-aaral. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you po.
Thank you so much po, Mr. Anthony Mateo po, our GPTA President. For now, may we have our Honorable Cap Alan De Leon for words. Sir Alan.
Nasa sasakyan si Cap.
Ay, oo nga po, nasa biyahe.
Ay, hindi na siya
Opo, but your presence po is appreciated po, Cap Alan. Salute. Serbisyong may ngiti. Yan. At naniniwala naman po ako super supportive ang ating kapitan. Sa lahat ng ating kailangan, nandyan yan. Ako na po magsasalita para sa inyo, Cap.
Hindi daw siya magsasalita, Ma'am Carla. Hindi paano ba ma-unmute?
Naka-unmute po siya Nasa biyahe po.
Paano natin siya ma-unmute?
Ayan, okay na po ako, ma'am.
Ayan na si Cap.
Hi!
Hello po. Good afternoon po.
Miss Lori, hello po. At
Hello po.
kay Sir Anthony, Miss Carla, thank you. Sa lahat po ng mga nandyan na faculty and stakeholders at mga parents. Kaya nakasabay po kasi ng Casimiro, kakatapos ko lang po sa kanila. Sabay po natin ganitong virtual meeting. Nakakasabay din po na kailangan ko rin punta, kaya nagsasakyan din po ako. Pero anyway, ang akin lang pong commitment, sabi ko nga po, yung mga ginagawa mga project po, kailangan ng pagkakaroon ng innovation at para makahabol dun sa situation po natin, di ba ma'am? So, importante ho na maging innovative po at humabol po dun sa sitwasyon natin ngayon ng eskwelahan para po sa mga mag-aaral. Basta kung naman po yung may tutulong ng pamahalaan barangay po, talaga pong hindi naman tayo pwedeng hindi po tumugon. Kaya po, full support po ang ating barangay Dolores sa lahat po ng magiging gawain po natin para sa mga estudyante. At welcome po ulit Miss Lori sa atin pong barangay. Thank you po. Salamat po. God bless. See you when I see you.
So, napakinggan na po natin si Kap, sa ating DPTA President, ang ating magandang konsehala kasama natin po ngayon. So, yung pong lahat po ng mga guro dito. So, bilang pong pagsasang-ayon natin sa ating proyekto ngayong taon, ay paki-on po yung inyo pong mga camera, mga kasamahan kong guro. Paki-on ang camera at sabay-sabay po tayong mag-thumbs up. Magra-ratify po natin ng ating projects ngayong taon. So, lahat po tayo mag-thumbs up. At syempre, nasaan ang documentation? Thumbs up pa, no? Okay na ba? Pakisabi kung okay na, na-capture na, ha? Okay na ba?
Screenshot yun, screenshot.
Naka-screenshot na ba? Ma'am Carla, okay na ba? Okay na, screenshot mo na ba, Ma'am Carla? Okay.
Yes
So,
po.
muli po, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat sa ating proyekto. We are looking forward po na, sabi nga kanina lang sir, pagsama-sama ay lahat ng bagay, mahirap man ang pinagdadaanan natin ay gumagaan kung tayo ay tulong-tulong at sama-sama. So maraming salamat sa mga suporta po ninyo na pinagkaloob po sa Dolores Elementary School. Maraming salamat po at God bless po sa ating lahat.
Bye!
Thank you.
Ma'am Carla, meron pa.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Yes po.
Thank you.
Salamat po sa ating mga distinguished guests. And now may we have the OIC of Dolores Elementary School for the closing remarks, Mrs. Vivian C. Veron. Ma'am V, take it away.
Miss V.
Okay, salamat po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po at alam naman po namin na hindi nyo pinapabayaan ang Dolores. Alam naman po namin na lagi kayong nandyan. At sana po huwag kayong magsawa na suportahan ang aming mga layunin para po sa mga batang Dolores. God bless po at sabi nga po, the achievement of an organization are the results of the combined effort of each individual by Vince Lombardi. So magkakaroon lang po ng katuparan yung lahat sa tulong po ng bawat isa, sa pagtutulungan po ng bawat isa. Wala pong imposible. At sa guidance po ng ating Panginoong Diyos. Amen po. Thank you
Amen.
po and good afternoon.
Amen to that, ma'am. And good afternoon to everyone who joined the Google Meet for ratification of Dolores Elementary School. Thank you so much po mula po sa aming team, headed by our principal and different teachers po from different grade levels. Thank you so much po and see you soon po. Keep safe.
Bye-bye po.
Thank you po. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you po, teachers.
Bye-bye.
Thank you po sa mga technical supports po ng ating mga teachers.
Yay.
Thank you po.
Team, congratulations po.
Bye-bye.
Mga teachers, may paalala lang tayo saglit, ano?
Sige
Bye-bye.
po, ma'am.
Maraming salamat po.
Thanks po. Ay, may meeting.
Hello po.
Opo, may meeting.